Hi everyone, Katie here. Welcome back to another layout video. Today I'm working with the Scraptember Day 8 sketch, pictured there, and I'm starting off with a blank piece of white cardstock, and I am doing like a stacked washi on the left. When I started, I want to have like maybe a ½ inch or so off of the left side of the page, and I want to go till about 5 to 6 inches in in the middle of the page. I want the rough edges so you can see that I'm just tearing my washi. I'm not being very careful about it. It doesn't line up on either end, but that's okay with me. I really like how it turns out in the end. A lot of these washis that I have here are from the Simple Stories warehouse box that I recently got, probably maybe almost a month ago. Now I've got some from the Kate and Ash, the Bro & Co., and then some just Carpe Diem ones. Also I have this one that I'm using right now, that's an Echo Park. And then this little one, it might be kind of hard to see, but those are actually flamingo floats. Now, how does a flamingo float fit into any of this? Well, when we were in Peru in the high Andes mountain range, I was shocked to learn that we were in the path, the migratory path of flamingos. I always thought of flamingos as exclusively tropical birds, but apparently not, because it was quite cool up there, and yeah, I just really never expected to see flamingos, but there they are. There's some pictures of them off in the distance, and we saw quite a few. It was really cool, I thought. So definitely something that needs to be scrapped, because how many people can say that they've seen wild flamingos? And maybe, I'm sure it's more people than I think, but I had never seen them, so I thought it was pretty cool. Now, I'm just using a scrap piece of black cardstock to map my photos. I don't want them to get lost in the washi tape. I know it's already hard enough to see what is in the photos. You definitely have to read the journaling, I would think, if you're not already aware of what it was. But I want to use my clipboard. You see I had a flamingo sticker. It's like a flamingo float, though, on that really summery sticker clipboard page. Unfortunately, I just don't think those flamingo stickers really fit. I don't want it to all be floats. The subtle little bit in the washi tape is okay, but I don't cover this in flamingos like I kind of wanted to in the beginning. But you know what? That's okay. So I take my last bit of washi that I'm going to put on here, and it is a We Are Memory Keepers, like chevron washi. It's like a copper metallic, so it's a little different because it is like a peel-off backing, and it's it feels a little different too, but I like it. I think it works to kind of create a little shelf for my photos, and it's also like neutral enough that it doesn't detract, I don't think, from the very busy washi stack over on the left. And I like that it's got just a little hint of metallic to it, so that it catches the light just a little bit to add a little bit of shine, which I think is perfect. Now, I love this little piece of chipboard. It says, yay. I think it's perfect. I love all these colors. And of course, I never find a spot for it on the layout. Isn't that just how it always happens? You find this one thing that's just so perfect, but ultimately it doesn't work out. But I do use a few pieces from the chipboard. But before I get there, when I get stuck, I tend to do my journaling. I also wanted to make sure that I knew exactly where the journaling was going to go, so I didn't put any embellishments in the way of what I want to write. I have found that I'm a rather long-winded person on my journaling, so I definitely want to get that on while I still have lots of space. And mostly what I'm writing about is just my surprise at finding out that flamingos, live in Peru, in the non-tropical parts of Peru, It is, okay, I guess they don't live there year-round. It's part of their migratory path. But still, I always thought flamingos were exclusively tropical birds, and they are not. So that was really interesting to learn. Now, I do have this one flamingo from Thicker's pack that does make it on the layout. I mean, I couldn't go the whole layout about flamingos without putting a flamingo on there. And it is very pink. Of course, the flamingos we saw were very white. I guess they hadn't gotten to the shrimp yet. But that's okay. I still like it. And I decided to incorporate more pink into the layout. So I'm looking for a title, and I really wanted to say, like, yeah, flamingos, or something like that. But, that didn't work out. I have these white thickers. They're an Amy Tangerine thicker. And they're foam thickers. On one side, they're gold and sparkly, which I love, and on the other side, they're white. Now, I thought I would use the white ones because, white is so perfect, right? There's so many times where a white layout, a white title would look so good. Excuse me. But here I decide to ink it up so that it is a pink layout. So I get out my picked raspberry distress oxide and I just start pressing the ink onto the white foam, and the foam really absorbs the ink very well. So I get now like pink foam thickers, which works out perfectly for this layout. I will say it gets a little more ink on my hands than most of my, titles usually do, but, that's part of it. That's okay. So I choose the words stay wild. I thought that was appropriate for flamingos in the wild. Also, that's when it's like, I don't really know how else I would use that, so I go for it even if it's maybe not as the most perfect fit or whatever. I don't know. I like it. And I think it looks nice. The pink, I feel like, stands out pretty well against my, very busy washi layout. Kind of pulls in the pink from the flamingo. And then I try to do a few more embellishments to, again, touch on the pink and just add a little something. So I've got some chipboard from My Mind's Eye. I use a little bit more from the Thickers page that, honestly, it's an old one. I'm not sure where it came from. I'm not sure who the designer is, but I like it. And I work to kind of finish up embellishing. Now, there's a whole lot going on this layout, so I don't do too much. But I do finish it off here with a little bit of a doodly border, just to kind of contain the layout. I kind of felt like it was falling off. That's kind of a weird thing to say, I know, but sometimes you just look at your layout and you're like, wow, that's a lot of blank space still. So I did my little border here, and then I did a few pink splatters just to kind of fill in that extra white space. I knew I didn't want any extra, embellishments. I thought that would be too much. But the little splatters just make it so that there's less negative space in there, which I really like. So that will finish up my layout. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.